Chapter 5: Business Organization. There's three main types of business: producers, intermediaries, and service business. Producers make products and services used by people and other businesses. Producers are in charge of using resources to create something people need or want. Intermediaries are businesses that sell goods and services the producers make. Retailers and wholesalers are examples of intermediaries. Service businesses are products sold through action. This means it's not tangible. Service businesses are the fastest growing part of the economy. Physicians and dentists are examples of service businesses. There are three major forms of business ownership: proprietorships, partnerships, and corporations. A proprietorship is a business that is typically owned by only one person. This is the easiest form of business to start and to end. There's very few legal requirements that have to be met. Most business people like proprietorships because you have complete control over the entire business. The second form of ownership is a partnership. A partnership is owned by two or more people that share a mutual agreement. This form of ownership is also very easy to start. Both people are in charge of all business decisions, and both are liable if the business fails. The last type of business ownership we are going to talk about is a corporation. A corporation is a separate legal entity formed by documents. Typically, these are owned by one or more shareholders and has a board of directors. Corporations are very difficult to start. Corporations have a lot of legal requirements, making them more difficult to start and there are two main types of organizational structures. This is a chart showing the structures of an organizational classifications of work and jobs and the relationship between the classifications. First type of organizational structure is a functional organization. Most businesses use this type. In this type of organizational structure, work is arranged within main business functions. Everyone works together, and any problems that might occur are reported to the manager responsible. The main advantage of using a functional organization is that people work with others who have the same skills. The biggest drawback is that people are forced to focus on one specific function rather than looking at the whole business. The second organization structure is matrix. This is a newer organizational structure designed to overcome the drawbacks of the functional structure. In a matrix organizational structure, work is structured around specific projects, products, and consumer groups. A matrix organization can be interesting and motivating to employees. They work with many different people. They are focused on a specific project or task. However, it can be confusing and inefficient without effective leadership and communication. Chapter 6: Entrepreneurship and Small Business Management. An entrepreneur is someone who takes a risk in starting a business to earn a profit. Some key factors in starting your own business are having a real desire to be your own boss and developing a good initial plan. Not all people who own or manage a business are entrepreneurs. It takes unique skills and personal characteristics. Entrepreneurs must be competitive, reliable, goal-oriented, independent, and persistent. Entrepreneurs come from all age categories, racial and ethnic groups. They represent both genders as well as variety amounts and types of education. Some of the characteristics of an entrepreneur are personal traits that are common to successful entrepreneurs. While some people already have many of these qualities, others do not. If you have a desire to become an entrepreneur, you can work to develop these characteristics. A small business is an independent business with fewer than 500 employees. Using that standard, 99.9% of the roughly 26 million U.S. businesses are small businesses. A more specific description of a small business is: the owner is usually the manager. It operates in one or very few locations. It typically serves as a small market, and it is not dominant in its field. Majority of small businesses do not succeed. Their failure rate is much higher than larger businesses. Many failures result from the inability to pay expenses. Some of the most common reasons small businesses fail is because they do not keep adequate records, they do not have enough money when they start up the business, the lack of management experience, and the lack of experience with the type of business they are owning, not properly controlling the operating expenses of the products they need in order to keep the business going, poor location of the business, and failure to manage credit offered to the customers. The SBA, or Small Business Administration, is a government agency that helps small business owners develop business plans and obtain financing and other support for their companies. The SBA sponsors the Service Corps of Retired Executives. Members of SCORE are retired local business people who volunteer their services to counsel and mentor new business owners. When starting a new business with a good product or a service, it may run out of money before it can become profitable. Several years of operation are required before most new businesses earn a profit. Finding the right type of finance is a key step in starting and running a new business. 3 types of financing must be considered: startup financing, short-term financing, and long-term financing. The first type is startup financing. This is the amount of money needed to open the business. It includes the cost of the building, equipment, inventory, and supplies. The second type is short-term financing. This is the money needed to pay for the current operating activities of a business. Short-term financing is obtained for a period of less than a year and often for more than 2 months. And the last type of financing is long-term. This is the money needed for the main resources of a business, such as land, buildings, and equipment. That will last you for many years. These resources usually require large amounts of money that will be paid over many years.